It's not healthy. You learn that it's not healthy for you, and we strive to be healthy. So by eating that, you're prone to get sick.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay, cool. Fair enough. All right, so what is your favorite thing to do in Hawaii?
Surfing or
Surfing.
free diving.
Free diving.
But I'm not.
Whoa. All right.
Yes.
That sounds really exciting. I don't know if I can handle that. But the surfing sounds fun, but...
Well, you guys can snorkel. It's still, just stay on top of the water.
Okay, cool. All right. So if surfing is your favorite thing and free
Free diving.
free diving, okay. So what were the experiences that you had in doing that? What is it that you like about it so much?
Well, with free diving, it's entering in the water world and just seeing God's creation, and that there's another separate world on this earth, and just the beauty and just seeing God throughout it. It doesn't get old. It's always changing. It's always a new experience.
Wow. It's beautiful. Okay. So what inspires you the most?
What inspires me the most? Jesus.
Jesus? Okay.
I guess Jesus, because he's the creator of everything.
Uh-huh.
So I'm inspired by everything that I see that points to him, which is everything natural in nature. So I'm inspired by his work.
His work. Okay.
His character.
All right, and I asked you a question earlier, which we didn't have on the film, in regards to animal kingdom takeover.
Right.
So, if the animals were to take over, you shared with us who would be the best president for the animal kingdom, and it was orcas.
Yes. I
Okay,
said
and
orcas.
what was the reasons behind the orcas? I wanted to share that on the video.
Their intellect, their teamwork, their communication, they're a great family. You see them working, I see the most in unison.
They work together?
Right, they work together well.
Nice, okay.
Other species do too, we all know that, but I'm just going to point to them.
That's one of your favorites. Okay, cool. All right. So I have a fun question I want to ask you. If you were given 3 wishes in your life, what would those 3 wishes be? Say I'm a genie and I come to you and I say, I'm going to give you 3 wishes, Bryan. What would you like to do with your 3 wishes?
That's funny. I wish that I could have a full mustache.
Awesome. Okay. You want a full mustache?
Wish number 2. Let everyone be more in tune that God is real.
Wow. Okay.
And third wish would be all the trash in the whole world would just vanish and disappear. So you start fresh with no trash in the world.
Amen. All right. That would be really a huge blessing for a lot of people.
Sorry I was selfish and the first wish was all about me. I should have had that as the third wish. But
That's
all right.
quite all right. Don't worry.
We're all
fine.
selfish
We're
in
all
some
good.
ways.
Okay, so you've mentioned God quite a few times. So can you tell us, like, what is going on in your life that you feel so inspired to speak about God, to have a relationship with Him?
That He's constantly leading me into deeper truth. And when you say to God with your heart, I want to know, and you mean that, He really does lead you into truth. And it's there's always something new He teaches you, and it could just keep going. You could keep learning about His character, and you grow more and more and more in awe of Him and want to know more of Him. And so, yes.
So you're talking about God in a really nice and just beautiful way. So what's happened in your life? Like, where was your life before you came here to the States?
Very selfish and doing what I want to do. and neglecting my calling from Him to serve Him. And sorry, what was that? What was the question? I lost myself.
What was happening in your life before you came here to the States, and before your relationship that you have with God now? What was happening in your life before that?
Spiritually.
Yeah.
Spiritually. Well, I walked away from the faith. I was walking with Him before. I walked away and wanted to see everything worldly that I can gain. And it led me, whatever it was that I was reaching for, thinking it would fill me, no matter what it was, it always results in not being satisfied. It doesn't fill anything. It's just sudden bursts of fulfillment that don't fulfill you. And He's been calling me back. Sorry, that sounded confusing.
No, so let me ask you in clarification for what you're sharing. So before in your life, before you had God in your life again, it felt like there was an emptiness. Is that what you're saying? Like there was an emptiness, like things weren't really
making me happy. Nothing was making me happy. Unhappy. I was losing purpose. I couldn't find meaning in anything.
Wow.
Just nothing. The daily routines or going from point A to point B, all the small talk that people have, everything's pointless. It's about sports, and nothing helps you grow and learn. So there's always just, you just no longer see a purpose in living, and it's like, what is the purpose? So maybe I shouldn't live anymore. There's nothing's fulfilling. But
right.
He fills all of that and gives you that purpose.
So God has brought you from a pretty dark place to now having this relationship with Him. But what's happening in your life now that you do have a relationship with Him?
Clarity, direction, guidance. God just fills you with purpose and more of a sense of direction and excitement now in life. It says, okay, wow. And just a hunger to spread His message, His gospels, so others could be in tune with that and they could have hope and be happy.
Wow.
And look forward to His coming.
So what happened that's caused you now to develop this relationship with God to where you just feel alive? Where did that happen, and when? And
there was many points of where the Holy Spirit speaks to you or sends someone to you or you to them, and you communicate with each other and see His character through others also, and it's always love. But looking back, I see Him everywhere now in my life since childhood.
wow.
But the moment I really knew for sure that was God was I walked up to a mountain just ready to be done with life, and I asked Him to be with me, and He was. He was with me and embraced me, and I went back down that mountain knowing very well He was real, and I kept asking that, and He continued to be with me and lead me into truth, and eventually led me here to learn about community and brotherhood and sisterhood. And we're all really one, and we're not supposed to be separate from each other.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome. That sounds like something that has inspired you in a great deal, and God has brought you from a dark place to this really exciting place from what it sounds like. So what is your plan now? Like, what are you planning to do now in the future? Now that you've developed this relationship with Him, what are you planning on doing with it?
Well, of course, spread the Gospels, and I hope to do that either in the mission field and in the animal sanctuary field. Maybe I could bring them together and spread His Gospels using those as my main point.
So you want to minister to people through animals,
in nature, everything that God created naturally, and take that everything of creation in love and separate that with everything not natural that humans have made, and that contrast will clearly show you the character of God in all His natural creation, and not so much in the artificial world.
So you shared in before in the past when we were asked about what kind of like business what we'd like to do that or ministry that we would like to start up, and you were sharing about having a ministry in surfing.
Yeah, I could see that. That would just be part of it.
Yeah.
I see the mystery fully. There's so much that I would like to bring into this, and that's taking people up mountains, surfing in the water, snorkeling if they haven't, and then, help them to see that to know that what they're seeing is God's thumbprint.
Yeah.
And to look at the creation in the natural world in a light that they see Him in all of it, and not just, oh, that's a fish, but that's a fish that God created. Oh, that's coral, but instead of that, that's coral that God created.
So you'd be able to share God through all the beautiful things that were created for our enjoyment, and let them enjoy it at the same time. So that just sounds really good.
From Him. Right.
Oh yeah, that's great. Okay, awesome. Okay. So let me see about this. There's another few questions I want to ask. Okay, I have this one really good one. Let's say that you found $10,000 in an envelope, unmarked, on the ground. What would you do with that $10,000 if you were able to keep it? Let's say you took it over to the police station, you reported it. The time was up for it to stay in the station, and they called you up and said, "Hey, Bryan, unfortunately, no one has claimed the money. You get to keep it." What would you do with that $10,000?
I would hope that I would give 10% in tithe.
Okay. Okay.
And, use a little bit for people who might need a little bit, and then maybe fund some missions.
Missions, okay. Well, that sounds good. All right.
Get a new surfboard. No, I'm just joking.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that if you're doing ministry with it, right? Amen.
Share it with people.
That's right. That's right. Okay. So I have a question. If you were a crayon, what color would you be and why?
Whoa. In my mind, it keeps going between black and red.
Okay.
Even though red's not my favorite color. I think black.
You'd be a black crayon. Okay, why would you be a black crayon?
So I understand it, maybe. I'm not sure why I would be black. I just think of a crayon color and I say black.
Okay.
But red was in there. And I'd want it to be red because I think red represents the blood of Christ. So, so black.
But black is actually a defining crayon. So black is the one that gets used the most. Right? That'll be like the first crayon that disappears.
Right. It's the dull one. That's like you need to rip off the end and sharpen it. Oh, shit.
Okay, awesome. All right. So, other than surfing, what do you enjoy doing on your free time?
I like to sculpt.
Okay.
Out of driftwood and gourds.
Wow.
I like to do many things, actually. But
Okay.
majority of my time is spent, in
Art.
when I was there. But I move around, and you got to pick up other things. But running, staying in shape.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of what areas, and what they have to offer. I'll try to stay in nature as much as possible.
Right.
Volunteer at sanctuaries if they're nearby, if I can. So
Yeah.
just always, pretty much I like to stay in tune with nature and being creative and using my imagination as much as I can.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So I have one last question for you. If you were given the opportunity to own your own business in Eugene, Oregon, which is where we are today, if you were given that opportunity to own your own business, what would it be?
Wildlife sanctuary.
Wildlife sanctuary.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a ministry, though.
So what would
Christ at the center.
Okay. What would be the animals that you would have in there?